Well, we've had an update on resources from Shane and the team. There was also eggs hidden in the picture, but I'm not going to go over that because I'm sure you've already seen enough of them. One thing I did notice though is the two different biomes. On the left, we have a rocky, dry, almost desert-like terrain, and on the right, a lush valley full of trees and foliage. Not only that, but there's a solid, distinctive line running right down the middle. To me, they're giving us a peek of how the biomes will change at property boundaries. It's previously been mentioned that we will have influence over the biomes on our own properties, so having varying biomes in the same locations would make sense. It's pretty cool. Right, now I'm just going to read through the press release from Earth 2 on the resources update, as I know a lot of you don't like to read it yourselves, and then I will talk about a few key points at the end of it. Dear Earth 2 players, we hope all is well, and many of our players have been waiting patiently for resources to become detectable on Earth 2, and we would like to provide an update on its progress. This update includes details on how locations of resources will be determined and an indication on what to expect in the lead up to resources going live. Resources will become a key part of our ecosim, which is a critical component of the entire Earth 2 metaverse, and how it functions at an operational level. Trade is a big word which encompasses many things, and just like in the real world where most things revolve around trade, so will the ecosim, and resources are going to play a massive part in setting the foundations of what we feel will grow into a system of global digital trade with supply, demand and prices being determined by secondary markets. We believe over time this will ultimately create additional extrinsic value to creations and digital assets inside, or even associated with Earth 2. The basis of our metaverse is the use of real-world geolocations, which provide a familiar link between the virtual and physical reality. Accurately creating the link between the two realities is a highly involved process and something we feel strongly about getting right. Anyone could drop random resources on a map and say voila, but we have taken our time to meticulously gather and compile extensive real-world physical data of resource locations from multiple trusted data sources and programmatically process the data into the virtual land on Earth 2 at a global scale. But what about if the Earth 2 resource data doesn't show the resources I think I have on my land? Interaction and collaboration with our Earth 2 player community is extremely important to us, and as we move towards the decentralization of Earth 2, we are constantly looking at ways to involve the community in decisions and processes that are important to creating the foundations of what Earth 2 is and what it will become. Therefore, we are presently building a method for our community to manually claim the presence of resources on their properties, should it be missed inside the initial Earth 2 resource dataset. The purpose of this feature is motivation towards the pursuit of truth and less so for the pursuit of personal gain. However, there will be rewards for players who accurately report or validate manual claims when the time comes. Many Earth 2 features released to date are in fact building blocks or stepping stones towards bigger features we plan to release in the future that play a part of a bigger picture, and Earth 2 player resource validation, E2PVR, is one such example. If Earth 2 resource data misses a resource a player feels they have on the property, E2PRV will serve an initial purpose of allowing players to report the absence of that resource and give other players the opportunity to validate whether the report is accurate or not. Players who report correctly will receive the resource on their property, and players who validate a correct report will be rewarded with a bonus, yet to be announced, but it will most probably include essence. The E2PRV will be limited to a certain period of time, most likely 3 months, after which Earth 2 core resource locations on all owned land will be set. Landowners who wish to report a resource they believe is on their property will need to supply proof of its existence, as well as a pay protective fee for each claim and validation made during the period. This will help validators assess their own position and whether they should support the claim or not. The fee will be refunded in full when a claim is successful, and exists for the purpose of eliminating unnecessary spam claims so that the legitimate claims can be fast-tracked and verified quickly. A mapping interface for this feature will allow the community to manage and monitor claims in progress, including those rejected and approved across the globe. Successful claims will be published on their interface and colour-coded according to the types of resource. Users will also have the ability to vote on open claims if there is a particular interest in a certain location or type of resource. While this will not automatically authenticate the claim, it will help our team to focus efforts on claims that are higher priority. Once completed successfully, our plan is to expand E2PRV into other staking, validation and voting systems driven by the community. We are also excited to announce that our long-term goal to decentralize key resources from Earth 2 as individual tokens or NFTs, adding a whole new layer of gameplay and player-determined pricing, supply and demand. As with Essence, there will be an extended period in which resources will operate centralized inside of Earth 2, providing us with important data to determine and refine the metrics. We are now in the process of final data checks, and integration of this global resource data has so far been a major procedural and technical undertaking and something that we're working through as effectively as possible. We are looking forward to seeing your reporting and validating resources on your land by Q2 of 2022. The purpose of this announcement is to provide an update to the Earth 2 community. Further details and exact processes will be released before the E2PRV goes live. So to me, the main takeaway points are that resources will be tokens/NFTs. Resources will 100% spawn on locations that you would expect them from Earth 1. The geolinked locations has been further emphasised by Shane again, so we know that is important. So city locations and stuff like that are more important than ever, along with the mines and resources. Rewards for helping verify are also a super cool way of developing the site whilst rewarding users. That'll give them something extra to do. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have an amazing day.